Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side. I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So, I think I'm posting this on Thursday. So tomorrow, May 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's going to be a free webinar on Zoom with a licensed chemical dependency counselor. He's going to share about an hour and a half of space with us, maybe 2 hours, and he's going to talk about his story. He's going to talk about different methods of recovery, and then he's going to answer some questions. This is a really good event for people, no matter what you're struggling with, whatever kind of addiction it is, because you might find things inside of his story that resonate, or little tips that he might give that might help you. That again, that link is in the description box. If you follow that and you book it and you receive that event link, please don't share the event link, because every time you do, there's another person who booked through the site that won't be able to attend because we have a limited number of spaces. So I'm requesting that you either book spaces for people that are planning on attending, or you send them the Buy Me a Coffee link so that they can check it out and see if they want to attend. Okay. All right. I think that's it. Let's go ahead and let's get into this. Taking a step aside and allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. We're going to take 3 cards. I am also going to take this bottom one as well. And so I'm going to take these in no particular order. We have the Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. Inner Temple Devotion. Tune into the portal of your heart. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. And Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. Whoever this message is for, there's this very long journey that you've been on that is probably having to deal with uncovering of the self, really understanding who you are, what it is that you are about, right? Understanding what your gifts and abilities are. People are going to be on different timelines on this, so I may use some terminology that used to resonate with you but doesn't resonate with you anymore. Okay, so just be aware of that. Because I don't know exactly where in this storyline we're falling just yet. So you may be somebody who, for example, you're trying to uncover your spiritual abilities. You may be somebody who's trying to figure out what your soul's purpose is. You may be somebody that is trying to uncover your oneness with everything. There's this deep dive and deep search, and almost like a feeling of yearning to discover the true self. For some of you, you may be thinking of this in terms of finding God. Okay, there is this, I do feel that we are at this place, though, where we've turned inward because of the inner temple. And I'm seeing this inner temple space reflecting here, which is this idea of, because you've turned inward, that feeling that you have of, am I doing the right thing? Am I going in the right direction? You're already doing it. You've already set your intention inward towards that, like, holy of holies. And because you've set that intention, you can trust the process that's taking place. Okay, when it's time to act, you'll act. When it's not time to act, you probably won't. Everything is unfolding in a very beautiful sort of way. And even if it feels like you're stuck, even if it feels like everything around you is going poorly or bad, there will come a time when you understand why. There will come a time when you look back and you say, I had to go through that in order to become who I am today. And some of you are already there. Ultimately, it's all leading here, right? This is like the beautiful unfolding of self in that pyramid of causality. Like, everything is happening for this particular reason. And that reason is usually not as rigid and structured once we arrive to it as everyone thinks that it is. There's this fluidness, this abstraction that someone learns to embrace, and the rigidness is behind them. And it's funny because yesterday we had the image of the spine come out inside of the scroll cards. And today I'm not seeing these lights as like a pillar of light, the way that this is kind of talking about it. I'm seeing it as almost like the spine of the divine. It's like when we have our spine, we have that, the channel of the nerves that travels through the spine, and those nerves send message through other parts of the body. There's something here about being tapped in and receiving messages from other spaces, and that being a very big part of someone's journey in discovering who they are. And not necessarily that the messages that other things have had to say, but an understanding that those messages are larger conversations between greater parts of ourself, right? Most people, they tend to think of the self and they're like, oh, I'm just my conscious mind. I'm just, that. And we're much larger than just that. And this is a very interesting setup for a reading because it says that someone's vibration is still rising. So even though you've come to this space where you have turned inward, where you're going in the right direction, where things are unfolding, no matter how it looks to your conscious mind, right? No matter how your ego identity is like kind of identifying the experience, whether it's experiencing it as super negative, super bad, or really positive, there's this unfolding that's taking place, and we're tapping into larger portions of our own soul story. There's still a rise that's taking place. The vibration is still changing. I do think that there's some protective element that's coming into that in terms of someone really utilizing protection, but I also feel that there's a portion of people that are beyond that story where they're opening up that protection, and it's like they're getting into a deeper level of universal love where that protection isn't necessarily needed. So this is a very beautiful reading already. It's like it's really speaking to, usually I feel like I'm speaking to people that are here, and it's really speaking to the story of what I think most people would consider the awakening. I consider it the evolutionary process. There's something about this pyramid that's saying something else to me, though, and it's the green into the blue. It's about using love as communication. That doesn't mean that your words have to be kind or soft all the time. Truth is love. So being able to be truthful. And that doesn't mean that you always have to sugarcoat it or pat it for everyone's, tastes. It means that speaking from a place of honesty. And it doesn't mean that you owe everybody your honesty, right? There's certain situations where that actually is not wise. But it means that you're no longer, for example, engaging in like those passive-aggressive conversations, or conversations where you're afraid to be yourself, so you're hiding yourself, but then expecting people to know who you are, right? Things like that. And this is a very authentic energy that I'm getting. Someone has really stepped out into a more authentic energy for themselves. And the other side of that too is not allowing that the acidity of our words to leak through into that energy of communication. People will always think that you're being away, right? Even if you're the most loving person on earth, that's their projections and their complexes. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, when, for example, you understand that someone's trying to do something to you, not feeling like you have to react out of a place of anger, but being able to identify it, observe it, and say, okay, this just isn't for me. And allowing yourself to speak from that space rather than a reactionary space or another space that just promotes the poison. So that's what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing that somebody has really kind of shed the layers of servitude, because that's a disempowered energy. Someone has, shed the layers of servitude. Okay. Oh, and that is leading to a very new beginning for someone. It's almost like all the weight is off my shoulders. Everything in my life might be going wrong, but all the weight is off my shoulders. And, that's going to make me super emotional, because that's a beautiful energy. That is a really beautiful energy. It's where someone understands that, life will life, and people will people, but that shouldn't have an effect on our experience of self, of, the 3D, of the universe. It's like this, someone has entered the dance, okay? Most people were in that dance unconsciously, but someone is now conscious, and they've entered the dance. Okay. Yeah, co-creation. That's what the Two of Pentacles is saying to me in this context. It's a collaborative effort. Right? Sometimes you pull more strings, and sometimes it's like the external or the universe seems to pull more strings. And I use the word external universe just lack of better term, right? We don't always have the words for these things. And it's like things go up, things go down. Sometimes things go your way, sometimes they don't. And someone has learned that that is the beauty of life. That is the beauty of existence. This is the energy of a person who has stopped viewing spirituality and the 3D as separate. It feels very much like someone understands that the 3D is the space where it's like the divine has manifested itself. And just finding a holiness in that. Yeah, and that viewpoint is now the foundation on which someone is exploring their journey. That is a powerful point to be at. And it's a powerful point to be at because this is really the uncovering of the God self. There's so much more to us as people than what we think, right? Because again, we only take in our conscious experience. And whoever this message is for, it's like you're expanding that field of your consciousness further and further into unconscious spaces, or spaces where you're pleasantly surprised, like, oh, that's me too, and oh, this is me too. And when that happens, you know, you can still have boundaries, you can still have protections, because all those me's aren't necessarily in your favor or looking out for your best interest, but you're able to approach the boundary, and you're able to approach those energies from a space of maturity and from a space of love. Again, going into that green and that blue, rather than I have to get my sword out and wage war with you. Understanding the mirror. Oh, wow. Okay, oh my God, this is such a big energy. Oh my God, I haven't had a reading like this in a while. It's been a while. So this realization, this understanding that's taking place for someone, even if you're just starting to grasp this, this is the initiation, okay? And this is where you start to step into this energy, okay? This is where we kind of become the tender of the sacred spaces, okay? I almost feel that I'm supposed to leave this here. I think that this is the end of that reading. It's a very beautiful energy that's happening here. And again, notice this pyramid behind her, and she's very much mirroring the goddess, right? So I'm going to leave that there. Whoever's message this is, I hope this resonates with you. If you want, feel free to leave me a comment, and until next time.